perfect for game day gatherings. The class is free to attend with registration available through williamsonoma.com.
And that's all for today's ride through the most unpredictable state in the country, where the beaches are beautiful, the roads are confusing, and the people from here who are absolute icons. We'll catch you next time on Fun Jersey, and make sure you take the jug handle instead of turning left. And don't forget, if you ever miss an episode of Fun Jersey, you can listen to every report on demand at 1077thebronx.com/funjersey. Now, here's more of the biggest hits and the best variety only on 1077 The Bronx.
1077 The Bronx and 1077thebronx.com, winner of 3 2026 Intercollegiate Broadcasting Systems Media Awards, Best On-Air Pledge Drive for our first ever Radiothon, Best Giveaway for Wake Up Riders Morning Bagel Run and Jewelry Spree, and Best Station Poster by Jake Goebel for Scream Screen. This is the final episode of the spring semester of the Tri-State Sports Ramble. My name is John Coro, and today we are joined alongside by Nolan McCaffrey. Nolan, how's it going?
I am doing tremendous, John, right now. Last show of the semester, like you said, and let's get right into it.
I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but I cannot believe how much time has passed to get here in such a quick manner too. I mean, it's unbelievable. But we're gonna hop right into it. We're not wasting any time. Got to talk about the NBA first. The Knicks defeating the Atlanta Hawks in 6 games. Knicks won game 4, 114-98, bit of a blowout, but they took that as a challenge and won game 5, 126-97, and game 6, 140-89.
No, listen.
That's insane.
I was watching the game last night. I have never seen, especially an NBA playoff game, go like that. I mean, it was 70-20 in the second quarter. I mean, that's just insane. I mean, you look at the numbers. OG Anunoby, really, if you look at it, I know Towns played well. He had a triple-double last night. Had another triple-double earlier in the series. Brunson is Brunson. We get that. But OG Anunoby, to me, was the best player in this series for the Knicks. Had 29 points. 26 of them came in the first half. I mean, he was hitting the 3-ball, 4 of 6 from three-point land, actually. 4 steals and a block last night. He was tremendous. And obviously, you saw a breakout game from Mikal Bridges. Mm-hmm. Obviously, he had a lot of criticism come his way for his Game 3 performance where he had 0 points. But last night, he had a great game, 24 points on 10 of 12 shooting. And if you're a Knicks fan, you got to be encouraged by, you listen, you know what Brunson is going to do.
Oh, yeah.
You know, for the most part, what Towns is going to do. But those 2 wings, Anunoby, Bridges, if they can play like how they've been playing, it's going to bode well for them in the second round, and we'll get to it, either the 76ers or Boston.
Yeah, I think, and this is more of game 5, we saw vintage Brunson with a 39-point night. But, back to game 6, there was one point in the game where the broadcasters were literally mocking them. I don't know what was said, and I can't recall the exact dialogue that was said, but they were literally mocking them. Knicks were up by 61 points at one point, and I feel after I saw someone make a really good take earlier today on social media where with games 2 and 3, I don't think the Hawks beat the Knicks. I think the Knicks just beat themselves. And I think the core really started to come together.
Especially game 2. They had a lead. They had a 12-point lead in the fourth quarter, and they gave it away at the end there. I agree. The Knicks were the better team. They had decisive matchup advantages, especially in the center position with Towns, who had a great series altogether. Not just scoring the ball, but rebounding, had 10 assists last night. He played terrifically. And again, they were the better team. They should not have lost 2 games of this series, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Yep. You're moving on to the second round, and obviously we'll get to a big shocker with the Celtics and 76ers.
I'm looking forward to that. Well, game 7 tomorrow. We'll get more into that, but just for the stakes, if the Sixers if the Sixers move on, so the Knicks are going to play the Sixers or the Celtics next round. If the Sixers move on, the Knicks will get home court advantage, but if the Celtics move on, the Knicks will have to travel to Boston, so just a little bit of home field advantage, home ice advantage. I don't like saying home court advantage advantage. I like saying home field advantage. But we do have to talk about the Celtics versus 76ers series. Who saw this coming? The 76ers defeating Boston 106-93 on Thursday. Tyrese Maxey showing up again when he needed to. And I really like the fight showed by Philly here, especially after losing by pretty wide margins earlier in the series. And I tell you what, before we dive into the actual game, this has been one heck of a week for anybody working at Xfinity Mobile Arena. With the Flyers playoffs, the Sixers, it's been pretty busy.
Absolutely. And, going to the Sixers, the big game in this series, and obviously great performance last night in Game 6, in Game 6 at Philadelphia. But the big game was Game 5 at Boston. I was watching the first half. The Celtics were up by 7 in the first half, and I really thought that the series was over at that time. Remember, Celtics had a 3-1 lead going into that game.
Yep.
And listen, a lot of people think the Celtics are the class of the Eastern Conference. Maybe not anymore the last 2 games, but still a lot of people thought that. You look at the second half in Game 5. Philadelphia outscored Boston 35-29 in the third quarter, and then a staggering, with their season on the line, 28-11 in the fourth quarter. Held the Celtics to 11 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
That was the big game in this series. I kind of expected the Sixers to win Game 6. Going into Game 7, I mean, listen, anything can happen. I still think the Celtics are the better team. The funny thing about the Celtics is that, and I think they are a great team. They've won a championship a couple years ago, obviously.
Sure.
But they live and die by the three-point ball more than any great team that I've seen in my life watching basketball. You look at the three-point percentage last night. They didn't hit their three. They shot 41 threes last night. They only made 12 of them for 29%. That's not going to get it done.
Nope.
And listen, for the Celtics in Game 7, they could very well have a game where they shoot 41 threes and 23 of them drop. And if that happens, the Sixers are done. But if they have another performance from behind the arc like they had last night, that bodes very well for the Sixers in Game 7. Again, and I'll pass it off to you, but again, I think the Celtics are better. I think they're the better team. I think they're the healthier team too. Because Embiid, I mean, you never know. He's played the last couple games, but he was hurt earlier in this series. Yeah. But it's Game 7. Anything can happen. Yeah,
well, I'm glad you touched on Joel Embiid because, going back to, I thought the Game 5 game was more crucial, especially on the road, than Game 6. I agree with you on that. 33-point night for Embiid. It's just a living proof of how the Sixers offense can be when he is healthy. And the 11-point quarter, like you said, by the Celtics. And going to your
point about Embiid, and this is going for all NBA fans, all sports fans.
Yeah.
We really have forgotten how good Joel Embiid is. I understand, listen, he's always hurt. I get it. Missed a big chunk of time last year. I mean, you look at his career, it's kind of a shame. If he was healthy consistently for his whole career, we might be looking at him as one of the best, top 5 centers of all time. He's that talented. But we have forgotten how good Joel Embiid is. When he's healthy and when he's playing, I mean, he might be the best big man in basketball. Obviously, some people say Jokic, but after they got eliminated last night, I don't know if people are going to be saying that anymore. We have forgotten how good Embiid is.
Yeah, no, we certainly have. And, it's... one second. There we go. But, no, we saw that, and it's really... Yeah, and like I said, you realize how well the 76ers offense blends together when you have Embiid in the lineup. And I really hope if I was Embiid, don't even practice today. Just don't risk anything.
I'll save it for tomorrow.
But so that's what the NBA, like we said.
I just want to say one more thing about the NBA. This is some big news, obviously. The number 1 seeded Pistons, who won 60 games this year, they're down 3-2 to the Magic, right? In Game 6 is going on right now. They're losing 60-38 at halftime. So the Magic are one half away, have a 22-point advantage of knocking off the number 1 seeded Pistons. And you don't see, 8 seeds beating 1 seeds too often. I mean, look at that second quarter, 35-12 in the second quarter. And here's the other thing. For the Knicks, and even to the 76ers and Celtics, let's be honest here. If you're the Knicks, if you could get past, let's say, Boston or even Philadelphia, you got to be really confident in the Eastern Conference Finals if you make it, because it's going to be the Magic. And this Magic had a great series, but they're an 8 seed for a reason. Yeah. Cleveland, I don't really trust Cleveland. I mean, who knows? But
Harden.
Exactly, Harden. It's like, So this is a big upset, and this could really change a lot of things in the Eastern Conference if obviously Orlando keeps it going in this second half.
Yeah, well, I love the audible you threw there because I would have liked to know because the Magic are playing the Pistons tonight, and like you said, 60-38 at a halftime. That's crazy. Oh man, no, but that's what we got for the NBA. The first game of the second rounds, the first games of the second round, they're to be determined. But like I said, the big game to watch for the Tri-State Sports Ramble, Game 7, Sixers versus Celtics tomorrow night in Boston. Winner of that moves on to play New York. And like I said, Sixers win, Knicks get home court advantage. Celtics win, they get home court advantage. Now the time to move on to the NHL. Islanders fired their assistant coach Benoit Desroe, has coached since Patrick Waugh was at home, so that's why he was let go. But some bigger news with the Islanders: Ilya Sorokin named a finalist for the Vezina Trophy. And for anybody who may not watch hockey listening at home, that is the trophy for the best goaltender. And he's the first Islander goalie in history to receive multiple nominations for this award. He got this alongside Andrei Vasilevsky and Jeremy Swayman. But last time I checked, the Islanders are in the playoffs. So aren't the Devils and the Rangers. But the Flyers are. We got to talk about them defeating the Penguins in 6 games, almost blowing a 3-0 series lead, but they were able to get the job done.
Absolutely. I was watching the end of game 6 in Philadelphia. And that was a big game. If they lost that game, I think Pittsburgh would probably have won in 7 games at Pittsburgh. But, obviously, it's you look at the Flyers season, they didn't start off too well, but they had that great run late at expense of your Islanders, obviously, and got in. And that's the thing, especially in hockey. I look at hockey teams where, if you can get hot at the right time, I don't see it much in basketball. Usually basketball is just like the most talented team always wins. Yeah. In hockey, it's a little different. It's more, you see some, underdog teams sometimes make it far into the playoffs. And, who knows what's going to happen? Obviously, against the Hurricanes, they're a very good team. And I think, most people would look at it and be like, hey, I think the Hurricanes are probably going to win. But that doesn't mean anything. I mean, I think if you're a Flyer fan, even if you lose in this second, you don't want to lose, obviously. But if you lose this second round series, you got to look at this season as a tremendous success.
Yeah, and getting hot at the right time. As someone who's part of a family who's really big into hockey, I can't tell you how many times I've heard that. But yes, It's 100% true. Getting hot at the right time. You saw them clinch in April. The same day I went to the Phillies game, people were cheering on the Flyers from Xfinity Mobile Arena, winning in the shootout. But looking at Game 6, Flyers winning 1-0 in overtime to eliminate the Penguins. Cam York, just a seeing eye wrister from the blue line. I don't know if you saw the celebration, Nolan, but York he pulled off a Jack Hughes. He threw the stick into the stands, and, that was unbelievable. But you got to give a lot of credit to Dan Vladar in net for the Flyers. 42 saves. That is one heck of a performance.
No doubt. I mean, listen, the Penguins goalie as well had a great game too. Yeah. But, and it's funny about that Cam York, getting the winning goal and everything. That I forgot who it was. I'm not like a huge hockey fan, I'll be honest with you. Sure, but I like watching the playoffs and all that. I forgot who it was, but someone for the Flyers, missed a golden opportunity like a couple seconds, like 30 seconds before the winning goal to win it, and obviously they didn't come through. So it was a big clutch goal for York. And like I said, I mean, You if you're a Flyer fan, you deserve the right to dream. Maybe this is a team that, again, comes out of nowhere and gets to the Stanley Cup, and who knows what's going to happen. I mean, it's really cool because, like you said, I mean, the Islanders, Devils, Rangers all didn't make the playoffs. Somewhere, so we have a nice team within the area making some noise in April and May.
Yeah, I don't like Philly teams, but unfortunately.
I don't either.
For the Tri-State Sports Ramble's sake, even though it's our last show of the semester, for the Tri-State Sports Ramble's sake, technically everybody has to root for them. But Game 1 for the Flyers tomorrow at 8 p.m. They're at Carolina. Obviously, Hurricanes got home ice advantage. I was talking about this, and if she's listening, by the way, big shout out to Professor Lee. We were talking about this earlier. She's a Flyers fan. But Game 1 tomorrow at 8 p.m. Flyers at Carolina. It's so, I don't know if you watched the playoff game yet at Carolina, but it is a very, very tough atmosphere with the Hurricanes. I don't know if the Flyers are going to pull it off. I would think, especially with the Flyers fight, I don't think they're going to get swept, especially with the Hurricanes coming off a sweep. They've had so much days off. They may come off a little sluggish. But I think the Flyers may drop this one in 6 games. But I could see them taking it at 7. I mean, I know you're not much hockey fan, but like if you had to just looking at how the Flyers have played and potentially Carolina, what do you think you expect to see in this series?
I think Carolina probably is the better team. They're the higher seed and all that. They're favored. We get all that. But again, I mean, this really goes for all sports I look at. I am always nervous about if I'm the Hurricanes, I'm nervous about a hot team coming in here that really has nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Because the Hurricanes, I mean, they're the team that everybody expects to win. They have a lot to lose. The Flyers, like I said, if they lose this series, it's still a great year. So they're playing with house money. And I'll be honest with you. Do I know all the X's and O's about the matchups and all that? No, but I look at the Flyers and I'm like, they got something going. They got that mojo. They got that magic, and it's like you never know what's gonna happen. I think that's kind of my point. Again, the Hurricanes probably should win.
Sure. But
we've seen a lot of examples of that in the past in all sports, but especially in hockey, where the best team doesn't always win.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a President's Trophy team, aka a team that has the best record in the NHL. They haven't won a Stanley Cup since 2010, I believe.
Yeah.
No, 2011. But still, that's a while ago.
Time, yeah. Especially like they're the best team. It's not like an 8th seed. Like if you were to say like the last, it's been 15 years since the last seed in the playoffs won the Stanley Cup. Okay, I would get that. For the best team in the league in the regular season, that's a long time.
Yeah, no, it just goes to show you. And you're actually make a really good point with the Hurricanes having a lot to lose. They've been in this spot for a long time. The first time where they really made the playoffs with this core of Sebastian Aho and Andrei Svechnikov was 2019, and when they swept my Islanders. But when they made it that year and they lost to the Bruins, that was the year where everybody was kind of like equivalent to the Flyers, where, all right, we'll be right back. But then 2020, eliminated by Boston first round. 2021, Tampa Bay second round. 2022, Rangers second round. 2023, I think it was the Panthers in the Eastern Conference. 2024, again the Rangers, and then last year to the Panthers again. So this is your time to get it done.
You bring up such a good point, and I say this all the time. One of the most fun times to be a sports fan with your favorite team is when you're going through that first playoff run where nobody expects it. And like I said, you have house money. I lived that, and we'll talk about this team, the 2024 Mets, where like they had all that magic and everyone was in a good mood and they had no pressure on them. That's always a great time because you always feel like, hey, we're playing with house money. We got that magic. Who not saying who cares if we lose, but we're the underdogs and all that. That's an underrated time. As a sports fan, you always love that. Then you get the expectations, and I think that's what the Hurricanes have kind of fallen under.
Yeah, and just imagine if it would have been a Subway Series. That would have been.
I know. 2 years ago, I mean,
that would have fed families.
That would have been nice. No, I think the Yankees would have won, to be honest with you. But
yep, and we will dive a little bit into the MLB, but before we do that, we have to go to our first commercial break. 107.7 The Bronx has very exciting news. Our new video stream is officially live, and everybody can see me now. It wasn't working last week, but everybody can see me now. So awesome, especially for the last show. I made it a point. We were talking about this, though, and I had to make it a point that we get it working now, and that was that. Now you can listen to The Bronx on air, online, and on app now. Watch your favorite student shows live on The Bronx YouTube channel and Facebook at 107.7 The Bronx, including What's Next Sports, Talk of the Town Sports, shout out to Putz, Bronx After Hours, The Concast, Cliff Notes, and Wake Up Rider. Keep it tuned into The Bronx to listen to and watch your favorite student shows on your 3-time or on. Oh my goodness. We'll be back with more of the Tri-State Sports Ramble after these unranked announcements on your 3-time 2026 Intercollegiate Broadcasting Systems Media Award winner, 107.7 The Bronx. Like and follow The Bronx on Instagram and at 107.7 The Bronx and on TikTok at 107.7 The Bronx WRRC.
Wonder where 107.7 The Bronx can take you? On Alumni in Action, Owen McCarron and Owen Nelson sit down with Rider graduates who've turned their college experience into something bigger. Leaders in media, content creators, industry changemakers. We talk about the moments at 1077 The Bronx that shaped them, the risks they took in their careers, and what they learned back then that made them the media professionals they are today. These are honest, inspiring conversations with people who once spoke in the same mics you do today. From Cranberries to Kroner, Rider Rock to the commencement stage, there's a new episode the first Sunday of every month with encore episodes weekly at 8 a.m. Or watch the videos on our website at 1077thebronx.com/alumni in action. Tune in to hear how Rider alumni are making their mark with new episodes every Sunday at 8 a.m. One story at a time. This is Alumni in Action.
The Friends of a Feather Foundation was created in honor of Barbara DiLorenzo. A caring wife and mother of 4, Barbara was often described as a light in people's life, and that light would always shine through her children. At the age of 57, Barbara was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and fought her cancer for 3 years. Despite her diagnosis, Barbara maintained the light, and people never saw her sparkling smile fade away. In March of 2022, Barbara passed away. In her memory, Friends of a Feather was brought to life to bring support, happiness, pleasure, and reassurance to families that have children fighting cancer. Help Friends of a Feather to provide comfort, smiles, and a sense of empowerment to pediatric patients with Barb's Bags of Hope. Within the contents of these personalized care packages may be a blanket or a warmie, a parent and patient journal, a variety of different games for the child and parent to play, a $50 DoorDash gift card, and more. Every donation made goes to creating a bag of hope, to give each child who receives one the courage, confidence, and hope to beat their cancer diagnosis. Go to friendsofafeather.org to give a child a Barb's Bag of Hope. That's friendsofafeather.org.
The Bronx Box scored live sports broadcast on 1077 The Bronx is underwritten in part by B2 Bistro and Bar Bordentown, where fresh local meets casual cool. At B2 Bistro, happy hours an experience that is never ending. Every Monday through Thursday starting at 4 p.m. and ending at 7, and Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. and all day Sunday, yes, all day Sunday. Enjoy B2 Bistro's unbeatable drink and food specials. Sip on Miller Lite drafts, house wines, craft drafts, and house drinks while stacking on delicious finger bites from their happy hour menu. Every day brings something new to keep your evenings fun and fresh. Monday's Martini Madness features Kettle One and House Martinis. Gather your team and put your knowledge to the test on Trivia Tuesdays for a chance to win prizes from 7 to 9 p.m. Wednesdays are for whiskey lovers. Try whiskey flights or sip on classic whiskey drinks while playing Name That Tune from 7 to 9 p.m. By the end of the week, wind down with the happy hour menu every Thursday and Friday, and don't forget happy hour lasts all day on Sunday, making it the best time to relax and enjoy B2 Bistro and Bar to the fullest. For more information and to reserve a table, it's b2bistro.com/Bordentown.
1077 The Bronx, WRRC-FM offers a wide variety of contests and prizes. By entering our contests and promotions, you are agreeing to the official rules. Some basic rules are you must be a U.S. citizen or an international student attending Rider University on a student visa, at least 18 years old, and reside within the station's total survey area at the time of the contest or promotion. You cannot play 1077 The Bronx contest if you are an immediate family member of one of our corporate underwriters, affiliated companies, or a member of our station's student executive staff. Looks like Grandma can't win for me.
Aw, man.
There's no purchase necessary to play any of our on-air, on-site, or online contests and promotions. Good thing, because I'm broke as hell. Prizes are restricted to one prize per household within a 30-day period. Additional rules may apply.
Rules are rules.
Go to 1077thebronx.com and click on the contest tab for more rules and information, or stop by our studios, room 207 on the second floor, Fine Arts at Rider University, 2083 Lawrenceville Road, Lawrenceville, New Jersey. Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. If you come by after midnight, please bring pizza. They haven't fed me in 17 years.
All right. Where am I? Okay. With over 750,000 views in the last 90 days, our social media is popping. Be a part of the trend. Follow 1077 The Bronx to see what we're up to on air and behind the scenes on Instagram at 1077 The Bronx and on TikTok at 1077 The Bronx WRRC. After you follow The Bronx on social media, sport The Bronx on and off campus. Gear up for summer by shopping The Bronx General Store. From short sleeve tees and polos to insulated drinkware for your acai refresher. I don't have that. Go to 1077thebronx.com/shop the Bronx to make your campus fashion statement. Welcome back to the Tri-State Sports Ramble on your 5-time National Association of Broadcasters Marconi Radio Award nominated station, 1077 The Bronx. Once again, I'm your host, John Coro, joined alongside Nolan McCaffrey. Now time to talk a little bit about the MLB. Some bombshell news. Phillies manager Rob Thompson fired. And, you know, I look at this trade, and I remember you talked to me the other day about this, Nolan, where Mendoza I'm first of all, I'm kind of surprised Mendoza has not been fired yet from the Mets. But you told me that if he was going to get fired, it wouldn't be because of anything he did, but just there had to be a scapegoat. I feel that with this situation with Rob Thompson, 100% he had to be the scapegoat here. I mean, that's what I think personally.
I mean, listen, I think the thing is, and I think a lot of people, and because of the Mets and obviously the Phillies kind of getting off to a rough start. And a lot of people, when teams get off to a rough start, it's always, they got to fire the manager and all that. And I think because of that, there's been so much of that. I've seen a lot of this kind of notion going around where a lot of people say it's not the manager's fault. And my response to that is that nobody's saying that it's the manager's fault. He was not the guy that put this team together, and he's not the guy going out on the field that's not getting the job done. He's not giving up home runs. He's not striking out. I get that. The thing is, though, and this is what the Phillies have done, and since firing Thompson, they're 3-0, including sweeping the doubleheader yesterday against the San Francisco Giants with Don Mattingly as their manager. Sometimes firing a manager sparks a team.
Yeah.
I can give you some examples. 2022 Phillies. Girardi was the manager to start the year. They were 22-29. They fire him. They go to the World Series. 2003 Marlins. They fire their manager in the middle of the year. Jack McKeon comes in and they win the World Series that year over the Yankees. Mm-hmm. And there's other examples too. 2005 Astros. Oh no, 2004 Astros.
Okay, yeah.
Fired their manager. New guy comes in, goes to the NLCS. There's a lot of examples of that. My point has always been with this, and we're kind of talking about Thompson, but also kind of talking about Mendoza to a certain extent.
Sure.
It's more of you listen. I'm gonna pose a question to you.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know this.
Hit me.
What is the definition of insanity?
Oh, I wrote a whole speech on this. It's the belief of doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. I am so glad you asked that.
Okay, Phillies, they decided to switch something up. Whether it's fair to Thompson or not, I understand that he's not the guy that's made this team. He's not the guy on the field. But at some point, you have to do something. And I look at the Mets. And they're not firing Mendoza. And you know why? Because I can prove it to you right here. A story came out by Anthony DiComo today, who works for MLB.com.
Okay.
And he's a beat writer for the Mets. And this is what he said of the major quotes in his story. In the eyes of team decision makers, the blame should be spread throughout the organization from baseball operations to the clubhouse. Club officials do not place the responsibility for that on Mendoza. Instead, Mendoza will be given a chance to execute one of the more dramatic turnarounds in baseball history. With 131 games still to play, Mets officials believe there is enough time for the Mets to run back up the National League standings. And then this is a quote from David Stearns, the Mets president of baseball operations. We know our record is not what we want, and we know we are capable of more. We don't view this as a manager problem, and we don't intend to make a change. That was today. That story came out. So let me tell you something. He's not getting fired anytime soon.
Nope.
In fact, I bet a lot of money he's making it through the end of the season, and I think that's a mistake. I gotta be honest with you.
Yeah, I think so. And really, it's like you need a change in scenery, I think. And like really, we'll get to it later, but the Phillies so far they swept the Giants. So like that's a perfect example. Will it start something? Who knows? But you see examples like that, and I just feel Mendoza is somebody that I feel like he has to go because I don't know if it's just me, but he kind of reminds me of Aaron Boone, where the players don't necessarily it doesn't apply to the Yankees this year because they're playing pretty good right now. But he's a guy where it doesn't seem like the Mets want to play for him in a way.
You know what it is, and I don't know if it's effort or anything like that. I don't know. What I'll just say is that I look at Mendoza in the postgame pressers, and he has no answer. They lose yesterday to the Nationals in terrible fashion. They ask him the same questions. It's always, hey, we gotta be better. We gotta do this. We gotta start winning series. And I understand you can say, what do you want him to say? I get it, but I just look at him and he just looks defeated. I honestly, John, I feel bad. Wow. I feel bad for him. It's like put him out of his misery. If you listen, his salary is guaranteed for the rest of the year. He's gonna make however much he's making. Next year, he's gonna be a bench coach somewhere, maybe a third base coach.
Possibly.
He'll get another job, and then a couple years down the road, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets another chance to manage another team again. He's gonna have a fine career. I just look at it right now, and it's like I feel bad for him. It's like I understand. Listen, it is not his fault why the Mets are so bad. Now he's not helping it. And another thing, and I understand. Listen, I'm only going off about this because I'm a Met fan. I have the Met shirt on,
Hey, fair
and
enough.
everything. But a couple weeks ago, Francisco Lindor, before he got hurt, this is after I believe after they got swept by the Chicago Cubs about 2 weeks ago, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And they asked him in the post-game presser, something about Mendy and kind of his job status and all that. And Lindor says, Mendy's done a fantastic job. That's his quote. Mendy has done a fantastic job. And I just I couldn't believe it. If you want to say that's not his fault, it's not his fault, you're fine. Don't tell me though that he's done a fantastic job because he hasn't. Nobody has done a fantastic job in the Met organization since June 12th of last year. When they were 45-24, best team in the baseball. Since then, they have one of the worst records, if not the worst record. They finished terribly last season, including collapsing to miss the playoffs, and they're off to a 10-21 start this year. Don't tell me he's done a fantastic job because he hasn't. Nobody's done a fantastic job. That includes every player and every person in the front office, including the general manager and the manager. So don't tell me he's done a fantastic job because he hasn't.
No, I agree with you, and I think the purpose of Lindor saying that, I don't think he agrees with it. I think
I understand why he's doing it
because the New York. The thing is, and anybody who watched the baseball around the A-Rod, Derek Jeter era, they understand the New York media is absolutely ruthless. So I understand why, but don't say fantastic job. I completely agree with that. But
say it's not his fault. Don't say it's a fantastic job.
That is ridiculous.
I'm sorry.
That's ridiculous to say. But as for the Phillies, Don Mattingly is named an interim head coach. I'm disappointed because Donnie baseball, but it's whatever. It's no big deal.
I think the Phillies could go on a run here, to be honest with you. I mean, they've won 3 straight games. Again, I mean, I think they're a flawed team, no doubt. I don't know if they're a World Series champion level team. I mean, the Braves right now in the class of the division, it's not even close. But I could see them making a run to maybe a wild card spot.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the National League is great, but the difference between the Yankees and the Mets and the Phillies is that the Phillies have some life now.
Yes.
And the other thing is, in terms of firing or not firing, the one thing that firing a manager does, it changes the conversation. You know what I mean? It gives new hope. It gives a new energy to the team, to the fans. It's just for the Mets right now, it's so stale. I mean, they had a 9-game homestand. I mean, the crowds, and I understand the weather. Yesterday was pretty nice, but the weather hasn't been great. I understand that. There's nobody in the ballpark.
No.
That's the other thing. And I know we want to move on and everything like that, but
hey, listen, this is the last show. Let's yap a little bit.
But here's the thing. You might think it's bad, right? If you're a Met player, Met official, whatever the case may be, you might think it's bad right now where everybody's crushing you. The criticism is crazy from the media, from the fans and everything. You might think, oh, this is the worst it gets. You know what's worse than that? Is when nobody cares. Because let's be honest, people care right now. But it gets if you keep losing and you're out of any chance to make a wild card push or anything like that, guess what happens? Nobody cares about you. And you're going to have 45,000 people on the other side of town every night at Yankee Stadium where they're going to root for the best team in the American League, and you're going to have archery practice at Citi Field, okay? Nobody's going to be there. There's going to be 1,000 people in the ballpark, and especially, the Knicks. Knicks are going to dominate the headlines right now because they're in the playoffs. Once they're done, Yankees are going to dominate it, and then
Giants.
once we get to training camp season, Jets and Giants are going to dominate it. That's the thing. You might think, oh, we're getting crushed everywhere. That's I'm not saying that's good, but that's better than nobody caring about you. And that's what it's looking like what's going to happen in the next month or two, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I just feel like with the Mets, they're kind of riding the wave too much a little bit. And this is a situation where they are in trouble, to say the least. All right. So We have more news to talk about, but we also have more scores to talk about. Nolan, I'm going to give you a choice here. Do you want to continue talking about MLB news, or do you want to dive into some scores around the league?
I mean,
I know it's my show, but I'm giving you a choice.
No, listen, whatever you want. I mean, what we're gonna talk a little bit about, the Yankees and all that stuff.
Sure,
mean,
we'll talk. We'll talk more about some news then. All right. With the Yankees, real quickly, Luis Gil option to AAA hours after a bad start against Houston Sunday. Jason Dominguez called up to the bigs for the Stanton injury, but then he got injured on the left elbow with a hit by pitch, typical Yankee baseball. And, in that start, he gave up 6 runs. This is Gil. 6 runs in a little over 4 innings. Did not record a whiff on the fastball, but little more bigger news. Well, real quickly with the Mets, Kodai Senga placed on the 15-day IL with a spine inflammation. Andy Ibanez claimed off waivers from the Athletics. I like that move, but talk about the Yankees a little bit. George Lombard is getting the call up to Scranton. He's done with the Patriots for now. He's up in Scranton. As someone who's watched him grow through the Patriots in my hometown, this was very heartwarming. He is somebody that the Yankees want Anthony Volpe to be. And this was something that my cousin Anthony, big shout out if he's listening. But I remember he said this one time. I was scrolling through social media and I saw a comment made by him saying that this is the kind of player that the Yankees want to be like Volpe. Why is my camera zoomed in? But we got but no, it's basically that. And I would love to see Lombard succeed. He is hitting the cover off the ball. I mean, what do you think of a guy like Lombard so far?
Well, I think I believe he's a shortstop, right?
Correct. Yep.
So, and listen, I mean, who knows what the situation with Volpe is? I mean, right now he's in AAA as well. He'll make it to the big leagues before Lombard because of he's been in the big leagues the last couple of years. But for Lombard, I mean, listen, he's played well in AA. We're going to see what he does in AAA. I mean, I think that's a big step up and everything like that.
Yeah.
But I think if you're a Yankee fan, you got to be happy with Lombard. I mean, again, I don't know if he's going to be a star player in the big league level. Nobody knows that, but you always like to see young players come up through your farm system, and when they're close and you get to AAA, it's like, oh man, they're right there. Again, I don't know how much of an impact he would make on this year's team, to be honest with you, because first of all, he's in AAA.
Yeah.
I think he would have to play really well for him to come up this season. Maybe come up at the end of the year or anything like that.
When the rosters expand, possibly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. In September, obviously. But I don't know how big of an impact he'll make. But for next year and for the years to come, I think you're going to be really excited with Lombard. I mean, again, who knows what will be at the big league level, but he's, like I said, hitting 312 with a 971 OPS in Scranton in 20 games. I mean, that's big league stuff, I'll say that.
Yeah, he could be. I'm excited to see what Lombard has in store with him. Now time to dive into the scores. We'll talk about the Yankees real quick. They lost to the Rangers Wednesday 3-0. 7 strong innings on the bump from Nathan Eovaldi. Still a very good road trip by the Yankees. Big league debut for Elmer Rodriguez on the mound. He wasn't too shabby. It's his first time in the big, so I'll cut him some slack. And he's had some experience playing with Puerto Rico in the World Baseball Classic. But let's talk a little bit about the road trip. Yankees took 2 out of 3 against the Astros. 12-4 win Friday. 8-3 Saturday. And unfortunately lost 7-4 Sunday. They won 4-2 against the Rangers on Monday. 1-3-2 at the Rangers Tuesday. Gave pretty much every Yankee fan a heart attack, but it was cool to see him. Right now, they are currently facing off against Baltimore, and it looks like 5-1 is the score in favor of the Yankees.
Favor of the Yankees.
What inning would that be?
Top of the 6th inning.
Top of the 6th inning.
Oh, Alonso hit a home run.
Pete Alonso. How does that make you
Rice
feel?
hit a 3-run shot.
I saw Ben Rice.
Caballero hit a home run. So
I saw Rice go
listen,
yard.
bottom line with the Yankees, I think they're the best team in the American League easily. I really do. I don't see anybody in the Central beating them. Tampa's played pretty well, but I don't think they could beat the Yankees in a playoff series. I think right now, if you're a Yankee fan, you got to at least get to the World Series. I'm sorry. They're to me, they're pitching, and they're going to get better when they get Rodon and Cole back. They're going to be better in the pitching department.
Yeah.
And offensively, listen. Judge has played well. Ben Rice looks like a top 10 hitter in the sport right now. Bellinger, we know what he's going to do. We'll see what they do with the trade deadline. They might get another bat in there, but if you're a Yankee fan, you got to be really happy with it. And I think they're just the best. To me, they're just the best team in the American League right now.
Yeah, and when you said that a couple weeks ago, I was like, wait, what? But now, honestly, seeing the other teams collapse and like not living up to their standards, like the Red Sox,
they fired Cora.
Yeah, the Red Sox firing Cora and their whole staff. Teams like the Blue Jays who are still trying to get back up to speed. Now, I'm starting to believe it more. I think so, and this may be the year. This may be the year to get it done. Sorry, I started going crazy.
I mean, you look at the American League Central. I mean, the Guardians are leading the division at 16-16. In the American League West, the Athletics are 17-14.
Wow.
So, I mean, and the Yankees right now are 20-11 and about to be 21-11 if they don't sell this game against the Orioles. I mean, listen, bottom line, they're a great team. But listen, we know what they're going to do we know what they're going to do in the regular season. That's the difference between them and the Mets, where they always have good regular seasons. Postseason, though, I mean, this kind of core is still waiting on that championship run that hasn't happened just yet. That's going to be the big question for them.
Yep, and we'll talk more about the Mets and Phillies games, maybe some NFL if we have time. But before we do that, we're going to dive quickly into our commercial break. We have a winner. The winner of 107.7 The Bronx first ever Build the Ultimate Bronkwitch competition is Sergio Nino Vela and the Lomito. Insert applause here. I don't know how to work the board, but we'll give a hand, basically like this.
Absolutely. He's my RA
shout out
in Hill Hall.
Big shout out to Sergio, and thank you for everybody who participated and everybody who was able to get interviewed by the Bronx right outside of Miller's Pub in Crans. Sergio scored the most votes at the Build the Ultimate Bronkwitch finale. In fact, he scored 57% of over 700 votes to land the Lomito on the menu at Muller's Pub and the Yo Cuz food trailer next semester, plus that coveted Royal Caribbean cruise for 2 to the Bahamas from Josh Harry Travel and more prizes. Congrats to all of our Tasty 3 finalists. Finales. Jesse Doty, Caitlin Lawler, and of course Sergio Nino Vela, the winner of the Bronx first ever Build the Ultimate Bronc, which will be back with more of the Tri-State Sports Ramble after these unremitting announcements on your 3-time 2026 Intercollegiate Broadcasting Systems Media Award winner, 107.7 The Bronx.
Do you wake up and feel like your mornings are just missing something? Certainly nothing worse than your coffee just not hitting the same. But there has to be something, right?
Yeah, baby! Yeah, there is! Weekdays, you won't even need coffee. You'll be running on life's purest energy, all thanks to the crew at Wake Up Rider. Your favorite IBS award-winning college morning show is on every Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. Not convinced? Let me help you out. You like music? Obviously you do. Bam! You like games? Of course you do. You like fun people? Duh. If you answered no to any of these questions, what are you, the fun police? And they have plenty more to offer. Wake Up Rider brings you season 9 of their usual antics, and what better way to start your morning than joining them? Unfortunately, spring break has come to an end, but if you need to keep yourself occupied, go to 1077thebronx.com and listen to all of their former episodes to give your days that pizzazz. And I'll cut you a deal. I won't even judge you if it's not morning when you listen. Just make sure you're listening to Wake Up Rider on 1077 The Bronx the second that clock strikes 8 a.m. on weekdays. So set your alarm.
Wake Up Riders Monday Morning Hangover is underwritten in part by McGuinn's Place, 1781 Brunswick Avenue, Lawrenceville. Grab your friends and get your game on at the best place, McGuinn's Place. Open until 2 a.m. every day. There's always something entertaining. From live music and karaoke to classic arcade games and sports on all of their TVs, you'll never want to leave. Make this sports season one to remember with bar foods and entrees like chicken wings, chicken fingers, mozzarella sticks, pork roll sandwiches, tuna melts, and more. To keep your belly full and energy hyped so that you have the energy to cheer on your favorite team. Quench your thirst with a cold pint of McGuinn's finest drafts. Kick back and relax, and most importantly, have fun while it lasts. To keep an eye out for some fun events and get-togethers hosted at McGuinn's Place. And to learn more about their special admission offer for Riders students, like and follow their Facebook page. Your place, Riders Place, McGuinn's Place.
Programming on 107.7 The Bronx is underwritten in part by Mrs. Christie, May 6th to 31st. A play by Heidi Armbruster at McCarter Theater Center in Princeton. In 1926, famed author Agatha Christie mysteriously vanished for 11 days, reappearing without explanation. A tabloid sensation that remains unsolved nearly a century later. Now, a devoted Christie superfan named Lucy visits the author's estate and discovers clues that could finally unravel the mystery. mystery. The story moves between past and present, blending Christie's disappearance with Lucy's own journey of self-discovery. A charming, clever comedy, Mrs. Christie celebrates writers, mystery lovers, and the enduring appeal of a great puzzle. Join Lucy on her journey to find Mrs. Christie, May 6th to 31st at McCarter Theater Center. To purchase tickets and for more information about the show online, it's mccarter.org. That's mccarter.org.
1077 The Bronx Campus Traditions and other programming are underwritten in part by Yo Cuz Food Trailer and Catering. The ultimate way to satisfy your hunger is right here in all its big yellow glory. The Yo Cuz food truck brings the kitchen to you with all the answers to your cravings, offering breakfast and lunch packages for up to 100 people. Yo Cuz is serving up the best flavors from classic finger foods you know and love. Mozzarella sticks, cheese fries, and french fries, to protein-packed burgers, comfort sandwiches like pork roll, egg and cheese, hot dogs, and chili dogs, and hearty soups. And no meal is complete without a sweet treat and drinks to quench your thirst. It's all available to be parked right on site. And you can't miss them. Yo Cuz isn't only bringing the flavor, Tim and his crew are committed to quality service and cleanliness, making every bite count. Whether you're grabbing a quick lunch or hanging out with the crew, Yo Cuz is the food truck to fuel your next trek. You want Yo Cuz to roll up to your next event? It's YoCuz.com.
1077 The Bronx Campus Traditions are underwritten in part by D. Lorenzo the Berg Pizza, located in Fairless Hills, and their all-new location in Hamilton, right off of Sloan Avenue. Just when you thought D-Lo's the Berg's delicious menu couldn't get any better, now you can get a pizza pie in the nick of time in Hamilton. Just 10 minutes from Rider University. Whether you're looking for a quick bite or a relaxing night out, I dropped my hot pot. D. Lorenzo's is ready to serve up a classic favorite. Craving a night out with friends and family? D. Lorenzo's The Berg Pizza has got you covered with close-knit ties and great vibes. Step inside to enjoy a welcoming atmosphere while you share a table and a slice with people you love. Make D. Lorenzo's The Berg your go-to spot for authentic pizza, crispy salads, and all your favorite Italian classics. D-Lo's hefty menu is sure to have a dish you've been craving. From their warm soups to endless pizza toppings, you can enjoy a meal made just the way you like it. The Hamilton location is dine-in and take-out only, so stop in and order fresh at the counter. To view their Hamilton and Fairless Hills menu in full online, it's dlorenzostheberg.com.
Mornings are always better when you tune into 1077 The Bronx, two-time IBS Media Award-winning Best Morning Show, Wake Up Rider, Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. Join Sophia, RJ, Ellis, Brian, Lathan, Brandon, and Sheer for 2 hours of fun and games, including the Monday Morning Hangover, underwritten by McGuinn's Place, and the all-new Morning Bagel Run and Jewelry Spree, underwritten by Caesar's Bagels and Deli and Peroni's Hidden Treasures in Mercerville. Go to 1077thebronx.com/wakeuprider to listen live on air, on app, and to catch up on past episodes. Welcome back to the Tri-State Sports Ramble on the Princeton Review's number 18 ranked best college radio station, 1077 The Bronx. Once again, I'm your host, John Coro, joined alongside by Nolan McCaffrey. We got 9 minutes left of the spring semester edition of the show. We don't have any shows after us. We can spend some time just reflecting on stuff. But before we do that, let's make this a good 9 minutes. The Mets. They lost to the Nationals 5-4. That's their 17th loss in 20 games from the Mets. An early home run robbery by James Wood on Juan Soto. That was a heck of a catch. MJ Melendez did come up clutch with a game-tying 3-run blast. They took the lead on a gapper by Mark Vientos. But then Luke Weaver, the guy you said would help your bullpen out, gave up a 2-run homer to CJ Abrams, and the Nats won 5-4.
Yeah, I mean, it just continues to be the same with the Mets. I mean, they scored 4 runs. I mean, have a party. I mean, with this offense, 4 runs, you got to treat it like it's 14 runs. I mean, but listen, Soto is the only guy hitting. I mean, if the weather was a little better, he would have had 3 more home runs in this series. I mean, you look at the final 2 games, he went 3 for 5 in the second game of the series where they lost 14-2, and the 2 balls that he got out on were balls to the warning track, and then in the second game of the series, obviously Wood robs that home run, and then in the 8th inning, he hits a 400-foot double. I mean, so he's obviously playing great. The only thing is, he's pretty much the only one playing great, except for maybe MJ Melendez. But
yeah, bottom
line is with the Mets, they're just not hitting, and really they're just not that good. I mean, you look at this line. If you're an opposing pitcher, all right, you got Soto. All right, you're worried about him. Bichette, because of his track record, you might worry about him. He's playing a little better, okay. But you look at this, like Brett Beatty, Mark Vientos, they've had 5 years to prove that they're good players. They're not. Roddy Mauricio, Marcus Semien at this stage of his career. I mean, when you're, listen, Melendez is playing good, but he's MJ Melendez. His career is not, he does have a track record of being a good hitter. When you have him batting third in your order, where are you going?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And he proved himself with a home run, but he's MJ
well.
Melendez,
Exactly. Listen, he's playing well right now, but let's be honest, in 2 weeks, would it surprise anyone if he's going through an 0 for 12 straight?
No, it would not at all. It's really.
And he's batting third.
Yes, I don't get that at all. He's looking at the lineup.
Who else are you going to put, though?
Well, yeah.
That's the thing. Who, Mark Vientos?
Well, it would be Pete Alonso, but he left. I said, I'm really not trying to rub it in, but
the Mets deserve to be rubbed in right now.
It's rough right now, but looking at some of their past games, they got swept against the Rockies, including their doubleheader on Sunday due to the rain out Saturday, 4-3 Friday, and then doubleheaders were as follows: 3-1 game in the first game and 3-0 the second. They won 8-0 versus the Nationals Tuesday, but then got destroyed 14-2 Wednesday. 7-run fourth inning by the Nats, capped off on an absolute no doubt grand slam by Brady House. Later tonight, the Mets will take on the Angels. They go to the West Coast, 9:38 p.m. So a half hour after our show ends, you can tune into that.
Oh, can't wait.
Yeah, Mike Trout, man. What a treat to watch him be healthy. Now, we're on to the Phillies. We talked about it earlier, the Phillies getting a doubleheader sweep over the San Francisco Giants. But one thing we did not mention, both of them were walk-offs. Game 1 was a 3-2 win. Bryson Stott with a game-tying RBI triple in the ninth. Justin Crawford with his second career walk-off. And then Game 2, 6-5, Alec Boehm playing hero. I love to see Alec Boehm really finding his groove because he's been struggling a lot this year.
Well, he's really been struggling the last couple years, to be honest with you. Again, I mean, he got the sac fly yesterday. We'll see what Alec Boehm does. I mean, he's had some nice years in the past, but he's got to do it consistently.
Yeah. He has to do it, and it's crazy. The past games, the Phillies lost 2 out of 3 to the Braves. I tell you what, that's an NL East team to really be worried about. How about the start from the Atlanta Braves so far this year?
And you look at their offense. I mean, look at Dominic Smith having a resurgence in his career. Matt Olson is doing Matt Olson things.
Michael Harris.
Yep. I mean, Austin Riley's not even playing that well right now, but. They're the best team in the NL East. They'll probably win it pretty easily. Really, in the National League, is probably them and the Dodgers. You can throw in the Cubs as well and some other teams, but
sure.
They're playing well right now.
They really are, and that's why the Braves were able to beat the Phillies. 5-3 loss Friday. The Phils won 8-5. In extra Saturday, and then 6-2 loss on Sunday. I believe the 8-5 win Saturday was to snap that losing streak to 10 games, but they still lost the series. Phillies did win 7-0 Tuesday. Why is that important? It's because Don Mattingly got his first win as interim head coach. Like I said, not happy of the team he's managing, but it's good for him. Now, taking a look right now, the Phillies are currently at Miami. We're going to take a look at how well they are doing. They are winning 2-1. Top of the 6th inning. Feels like a series the Phillies should take even with their struggles.
Well, I mean, listen, the Marlins aren't too bad. They had a good finish last year. They got some young players, but I agree. I mean, I think the Phillies should at least take 2 out of 3 in this series.
Yeah, I think so. And they will play Saturday at 4:10 p.m. and Sunday at 1:10 p.m. We got about 3 minutes left. So real quickly, we'll talk a little bit about who do we want to talk about? Russell Wilson visiting the New York Jets as a potential backup. And can we acknowledge how much things have turned for him? You go from the starting QB for the Giants in week 1 to getting benched for Jackson Dart, put into one sequence and getting taken out, and now your visit to the New York Jets as a potential backup.
I think with Wilson, I mean, his best days are long over.
Yeah.
Could I see maybe the Jets getting him as a backup quarterback? I could. More for leadership also. But the days of him being a starter on, a playoff level team, I just don't see that happening anymore. And, I mean, he's had a good career. I will say this. I still think he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I know that's taken a hit the last couple years because of how his time, turned in and turnout in Denver, the Giants, and even Pittsburgh to a certain extent. But again, I mean, he like, as a Jet fan, like, would I mind Russell Wilson being a backup? I wouldn't. I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's not, you know.
Yeah, as simple as that. And really, I like to see, just for his sake, I'd like to see him just succeed a little bit. We got about 2 minutes left, so real quickly, Mekhi Lemon, who the Eagles drafted, will be wearing number 9, which of course is the first time an Eagles player has done that since the legendary Nick Foles. So he'll have some shoes to fill, no doubt about it. But, you know, we got about a minute to go. Let's reflect a little bit. What a ride this spring semester, man. The Tri-State Sports Ramble making an appearance. Nolan, I got to give a big shout out to you, man, because last semester you taught me how to run the board. You taught me, or kind of convinced me to get my own show for the spring semester, and I did it. And really, just thank you, man.
No, I mean, I say this to a lot of people. I mean, going back the fall of 2024, how I got into this radio station is I hosted my own show. That's, to be honest with you, that's the easiest thing you can do. The easiest way that you can get involved is hosting your own show. You know, getting onto a sports team, you know, report team or broadcasting might be a little tougher. First thing you can do is doing your own show, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's just, you know, an hour a week, 2 hours a week, whatever the case may be, just talk whatever you want, you know?
Yeah, and it's opened the floodgates with opportunities. We both broadcasting high school football.
I know, that was a long time ago, our first game, you know.
And we hope to do it again together in the following semester. You broadcast Rider women's basketball. I hope to do that together. That would be pretty sick.
Yeah, we'll see.
And then, you know, obviously with me, I'm also doing high school baseball. So it's really been a really thrilling ride so far. And, you know, Nolan, do you mind if I promote your show tomorrow?
Because, listen, you can't. I was about to say that.
Hey,
you know?
well, hey, you promote it. Your show.
Listen, tomorrow, 9 to 10, so 24 hours from right now. High stakes, tune in. John is going to be with me. You know, maybe some other people. I don't know if people are around. I don't know. But, you know, that will be my last show of the semester. And, you know, I mean, we'll be talking about whatever, you know?
Yep, absolutely. Well, Nolan, it's been a pleasure having you on the Tri-State Sports Ramble. Looking forward to hopping onto the high stakes one final time for the spring semester tomorrow night. Thank you for listening all semester long to the Tri-State Sports Ramble. As for our next show, I said this last week, going forward in the fall of 2026 and hopefully beyond, it'll still be from 8 to 9 p.m., but the new day is Monday. So Mondays from 8 to 9 p.m., so most likely Monday Night Football will be going on as we speak, so we'll be able to watch it live, which is kind of cool. So Mondays from 8 to 9 p.m., that'll be our new time. I don't know when the semester starts, just early September.
Well, this year, it's going to be a little late this year. I mean, September 9th, I know is the first day of classes, which is crazy late. But,
so maybe a little bit, look out for September 9th or maybe a little before that, but we'll see. We'll know for sure. So on Monday in September from 8 to 9 p.m., that's when we'll be next up for the Tri-State Sports Ramble. But until then, stay tuned for more of the biggest hits and best variety on the Princeton Review's number 18 best college radio station, 3-time 2026 IBS Media Award winner, and 5-time NAB Marconi Radio Award nominee for College Radio Station of the Year, 107.7 The Bronx. John Coro signing off one final time on the Tri-State Sports Ramble for the spring semester of 2026. Good night, everybody.
107.7 The Bronx, WRRC-FM.